Hey everyone, welcome back to Smashing Plastic Podcast. We're live here with Coach Tommy and our guest, Coach Tommy, which is going to be a fun-filled podcast for you today. It's been a busy summer with Somerville Vapor and Smashing Plastic. Can't wait to bring you all up to speed on the last, we'll say 3 to 4 weeks of where we've been, what we've been up to, and most importantly, where we're going for the fall. Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here, just letting you know, apologize that we did not have a new podcast last week. It was, as you can imagine, with travel baseball, could not make it happen. Apologize that all you guys got was a tip of Coach Tommy, but we are back at it. Our goal in life is to have you a new podcast that launches on the 1st of every month and the 15th of every month, and we're going to do our most bestest to make sure that happens. So happy to report back at it. Smashing Plastic Podcast coming to you live on the 1st and the 15th of each month as we head into Christmas season. All right, so let's welcome our beloved Smashing Podcast back from the beloved world of summer. Hopefully you guys have all had a great summer and try to stay somewhat cool. We have been extremely busy with the beloved world of baseball, and as many of you know, if not most of you know by now, I am a baseball coach as well for a travel team called Somerville Vapor that I've had since they were about 9 years old. They're all old, big, and strong now at 16U, and had the privilege of traveling the last 4 weeks with those guys in various universities and tournaments and all kinds of fun-filled venues to showcase their baseball skill set. But what I'm most importantly going to talk about is their pickleball. I will call it addiction. It's a straight-up addiction. If I had all 17 or 16 of those boys with me right now, they would attest to how addicted they have all become to the beloved world of pickleball. It's one of the things that they all look forward to the most of on our off times and our off days and in between tournaments and schedules and games. And even when we get to these facilities or these hotels that we're at, it's going to sound crazy, but we've gone into the extent of setting up our own pickleball court, which will show you some of these photos and highlights and some of these videos in our YouTube of some of these guys, if you haven't already seen it, playing pickleball all over the Southeast. Started our beloved journey at a big baseball tournament of PBR, which is down in Atlanta, Georgia, and had the privilege and the opportunity to play at Ace Pickleball Club, which is, I want to say it was an old Service Merchandise or old JCPenney or something along that line. Big old place. Super cool, indoor, and I actually had the privilege to meet Eric Burns from ESPN, which is a baseball dude. If you know anything about baseball, he was actually there with his baseball team from Tahoe, and we got to talk baseball, got to talk pickle, actually got a chance to play with him, which he's a 5-0 player, which was fun. We got to tackle some really good players at Ace, but most importantly, I got a chance to show them and showcase some of their pickleball skills as my baseball players in at Ace, and they had a great time. They actually closed the place down. We finished up a tournament game around 4:30 or 5 o'clock, ended up at Ace around 5:30, and I'm not exaggerating, we played until 10 o'clock that night. So that was the first place that we went to in Atlanta. Then we made a trip over to the WWBA, which is the biggest wood bat baseball tournament in the country, 500 baseball teams, and anybody and everybody that you can imagine was there. We did not have a chance to get to Ace while we were there, but we actually went to the downtown area of Atlanta. And one of the things that I'd like to talk about, which was neat for me, is to see how my ball players interacted with the public in a metropolitan area such as Atlanta, which is completely different than Charleston. The dynamics of people are different. The ethnicities are different. Just the amount of players was different. So we finished up a couple of games there and then went over to downtown Atlanta, got a chance to play on their public courts and watch these guys absolutely have a great time playing pickleball and introduce some of their skill sets of what they're learning. But most importantly, it was fun to kind of see how they communicated and how they interacted with a paddle up situation, which basically means it's open play, right? So it's a public court. There's no way for us just to go there and take over 2 or 3 courts and just play with Vapor Boys. We'd have to intermingle with the public. So we have to actually put our paddle up, which means stack your paddle. And basically it's kind of like I got next. So it was kind of cool to see how they would interact with folks that they don't know from every age, every ethnicity, every playing level, and they all did great, which is a whole nother reason, a whole nother proponent why I like pickleball so much is because it truly allows you to have the interaction of community. It allows you to actually make friends and talk to people that you haven't talked to, or in their world, the old snap, right? Like they all snap each other this, snap each other that. I don't even know what snap is. So it's cool for me to kind of see how they can meet Kevin, who's an accountant, and they're asking to play with Kevin, and then his partner may be a builder named Paul, and it's just really cool to see how they interact with that. So that was neat. Then we headed on over to the beloved world, if I'm not mistaken, of Florida. Went down in the Delray area. So this is a shout out to the Delray area down there, which got hammered with a hurricane last. And there's a company that you haven't looked into, you need to, called Beach Boys Pickleball. Got a chance to meet him and the owner and showcase some of the pickle that we've got at his beautiful facility, which is where all the OGs from pickleball, I guess, more or less kind of originated. They're Kyle Yates and Catherine Parenzo and all these big names that you guys know in pickleball. Well, they all kind of started in this big, really cool man cave. That's one of the nicest courts that I've seen. And we got a chance to play there. That's actually where we built a court in our parking lot because there wasn't a whole lot of indoor down there in Florida, which I thought there would be, but there isn't. So we built our own court in the parking lot, played literally every night till about 11 o'clock, and got a chance to really kind of like drill with some of them and introduce them to the wonderful world of tactic. And we talk a lot about this on this podcast. We're going to talk a lot more about that. But once you get out of the world of legitimately trying to hit the ball as hard as you can and start learning the tact, you can actually start playing pickleball. And that's where I'm happy to report a lot of these boys are headed. And then lastly, but not leastly, we went up to the beloved, beautiful world of Boone. So we spent our last weekend in Boone, North Carolina. Got a chance to play at Summit. So if you have not visited Summit, which is in Boone, you need to. It's an indoor, I think if I'm not mistaken, has 6 courts or 5 courts. Got a chance to meet some really cool people there, play indoor pickleball with the Vapor Boys there, and showcase a lot of different skill sets, as we actually did have our own 3 courts there, which was cool to kind of have a king of the mountain, per se, of who's the best on pickleball. This is going to sound crazy, but these kiddos are so competitive. I literally have to answer the question while I'm making the lineups for baseball games of who is the best pickleball top 3 that we have on our lineup. That's the biggest question of the day. And of course, it changed daily. So it was kind of funny and cool to kind of have something that was off the diamond, that was still kind of wetting their competitive juices a little bit, but more importantly, them all striving to get better. So that was my summer recap. Literally traveled about 5 weeks from all the way down in the beloved world of the Delray / lower part of Florida, all the way up to Boone. Hit Atlanta a couple times in between. A lot of miles, a lot of pickleball, a lot of baseball. Boys did extremely well. They went 15-10 on their season. There were a couple of wins from really, really, really big victories in some big, big tournaments with some of the best baseball players and arms showcased in the country, and they all held their own and did extremely well. So while we were in the beloved world of the summer, and we're in hotels all over the Southeast, one of the things that was super highlight for everybody was the Olympics. The Olympics, the Olympics, the Olympics, the Olympics, the Olympics. We heard it over and over and over again. Every time we go into the hotel, we'd see it. Every time we're on the ball field, people are talking about it, especially like the track and field and all the stuff. But a big topic, even in the world of pickleball, is the Olympics and what that looks like to get this beloved plastic ball sport to the Olympics. Now, I am of the opinion of most that there are some things that are in the Olympics that obviously I'm not a real big fan of, but at the end of the day, do I think and do I feel personally, in my opinion of Coach Tommy with Smashing Plastic, is pickleball an Olympic sport? I hope and pray that it is. I do. I think it's got a place. I think that it's definitely got a world recognition that's rising and rising each and every week, each and every month, each and every year. There are more and more countries that are diving headfirst into the that we'll call it the fanatical world of pickleball, right? So I don't know if 2028 LA pickleball will happen. I hope it does. I feel like with enough pressure, anything's kind of possible. And with I'll just put it this way, if pickleball continues to grow at half the pace that it's doing right now, it would be really hard-pressed not to think that they don't find a way to get that in there, even though supposedly the roster of sports is solidified. But pressure, makes coal into diamonds, right? So hopefully all you pickle nuts out there and we'll call it the big pickle guys and gals can really press the Olympics to make that happen for 2028. And I guess if that can't happen, then definitely by 2032. I personally would love to hear your opinion on what you think about pickleball and the Olympics. Do you think it's pro, right? Do you think that we have our top pros that play there? Would you like to see it as an AM event? I'd just love to hear what your opinion is on that. I've kind of got my own. It's one of those things to where I'm glad that, the NBA stars can go there and do what they do and bring home the gold. But at the same time, it's just odd for me that, professional athletes are in a sport, like basketball that's in the Olympics. Just my opinion. But I would love to hear yours and let me know what you think about pickleball and the Olympics. And hopefully we can get there in 2028. All right. The topic of choice that we continue to hear a little bit more and more about is pickleball and high school. High school pickleball. Where's that at? So while I was away this summer, I got a message from somebody somewhere that basically had stated that Maryland has already passed. I guess there's a county that's got roughly around 20, 30 high schools that are officially conforming to creating pickleball as a high school sport, which, as you can imagine, and you've heard in our podcast, I am elated for. I think it would be an amazing fall addition to any high school sport school that's out there, whether it's 1A private Christian all the way to the 6A public. I don't know how pickleball cannot find a home as a varsity sport. I love it. I think there's so many different facets of athletes that can mold into playing pickleball. So whether it's the basketball star or the volleyball star or the baseball star or the football star, I feel like there is definitely a place for everybody at the pickleball net. And I am excited beyond belief to hear that we've already got some schools and some states that are kind of taking the tip of the sword. And I'm hoping and praying that South Carolina can be one of them. So on my end, I'm going to do everything that I can as a official USA pickleball ambassador to press the envelope as much as I can in our local area of the low country of South Carolina with schools and lock arms with some of those folks like your Des Browns that are in Charleston, Katie Mells. There's some Max Eastons. There's some guys and gals here that are really pressing to get that junior envelope pushed, and most importantly, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, so that we can get high school to be an official culprit of having pickleball as a varsity sport. I think would be unbelievable. It would be really kind of cool. And high schools all have tennis courts. I mean, all they have to do is be lined out, you know what I mean, in a few hours. By the way, I know a guy who could do that for you very quickly. And we have pickleball. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot. It's not a big money vested interest that's got to be done on most of these schools. So let's get that done. If you are listening and you are a superintendent, if you are listening and you are a coach, if you're listening and you will like pickleball, if you are listening and you can spell pickleball, shoot an email to your district, to your superintendent, and say, hey, what do we have to do in order to get pickleball to be recognized as a varsity sport here in Charleston, South Carolina?
Your home is more than just a place. It's your pride, your sanctuary. Its exterior is the first impression it gives to the world, and a shield that protects you from the elements. But over time, weather and wear can dull its shine and compromise its safety. That's where we come in. At First Class Painting and Restoration, we bring your property back to life with our premium painting services. Using state-of-the-art tools and techniques, we deliver exceptional results on time and within budget. As a local award-winning company with over 15 years of experience, we're known for our family reputation and unique culture. We're not just painters, we're craftsmen who care about our community and the people we serve. We're committed to bettering our customers, employees, and community through the fun trade of painting. So choose First Class Painting and Restoration and experience the difference of a company that cares. Because making your house feel like home is our first-class service.
All right, what's on the horizon, right? Like, what do we got coming up? Well, the beautiful world of the best word in the low country that we hear is fall, because we are praying that the beloved temperatures will drop and the humidity will start dropping and pumpkin spice comes out and all the fun-filled stuff that we all love with the fall. For me, for the fall, what I would like to talk a little bit about, which I think a lot of people are on board with, is the beloved world of health and fitness. What does that look like going into your fall season? The temperatures are going to be hopefully coming down. It gives you an opportunity to get outside maybe a little bit more than what you're used to or what you want to. So it's a great time to possibly introduce yourself to pickle. If you haven't played pickleball yet or not, the fall is a really good time. Daylight kind of hurts us a little bit, so some of those outdoor courts, you know, hopefully they've got lights. But if not, you've got the place like Pickle Bar, you've got Crush Yard, you got a couple other places that you guys can definitely look into their fall calendar and see what you got. But I do highly recommend that you take a few minutes now that you're listening to this and get you some quick health and fitness goals for the fall. It could be dropping 10 pounds. It could be playing pickleball twice a week. It can be, you know, I want to be able to walk without my knee hurting. There's a lot of different little goals that we can all do that. But for me, for the fall and the fitness, I feel like they go hand in hand. It's a really good opportunity time for you to take a good minute and get you a couple goals for the fall as we hopefully head into some better some better temps. With that being said, one of your goals that will kind of link into that is tournaments. Believe it or not, fall pickleball is a wonderful time to introduce yourself into the world of, quote, competitive pickleball. What does that look like? It can look like a round robin at your local court that you're playing at. It can look at getting with Pickleball Charleston on one of the events they may be having, which is, pretty much almost every month they've got something going on to where you can sign up from whatever level, a 3.0 level all the way up. I've seen to 4.5 level. So you have a good hybrid mix of all different events that you can play in. And in all honesty, if you are a true competitor, maybe you can get somewhere that that's out of town, that's a little bit bigger. Maybe you're ready to go tackle some of that regional, competition, or maybe some of that state competition, or heck, you go down to Hilton Head, or if you go to a place like Augusta, a lot of these places nowadays are bringing in people from all over. Maybe that's a good goal for you to have in the fall. I love tournament times in the fall. It's when I play a lot of the tournaments that I play in because I don't have baseball. And it's a good opportunity to kind of see where your game's at. And as you're heading into the new year, you can start, building those beloved, hey, I want to be at this level for the new year. And tournaments and that competitive play are kind of one of the best ways to get that shaped and sharpened and get you a true measure of where you're at. As we head into new tournaments, what better way than to start looking into some new gear? I love the fall too, because as we head into the beloved world of Christmas season and gift season, it's a great time for you to kind of take a look at what gear's coming up. We personally with Smashing Plastic have some new paddles that are actually under development right now. They're actually in the hopper to be made. I know I'm going to have some new paddles that are coming out. I know that a lot of these brands are facing a lot of different challenges with technology and trying to, kind of get paddles to where are they going to be. It's a good time for you to get with your local reps on any brand there may be, and I highly suggest you try a lot of different ones. I'm a big proponent of trying a lot of different equipment so you can find the one that matches your fancy. It can't just look good. It's got to operate. It's got to function, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So in the fall, right now is a good time for you to kind of take a look at some of those new toys, new gadgets, new gear, new ball machine, shoes, all those fun-filled stuff that are coming out to make you the best pickler that you can be. The fall is a really good time to do that. So I'd highly encourage you to take a look at some of that goodie stuff coming around, and hopefully know Santa Claus might be bringing you something underneath that tree. With that being said, I have noticed a lot of my inboxes and a lot of my emails and a lot of Facebook stuff that I see in the beloved world of pickleball right now involves things called pickleball getaways. So first, before we go into that, I'd love it if you could DM me or message me if you have truly done a pickleball getaway. And I have spoken with some of you on this already. I'd love to have you on the pod. I'd love to get your experience of doing a pickleball getaway. I know that Ben Johns, I forget who he's partnered with, but he's partnered with somebody that actually does this and has for a couple of years now. I think just about Tyson McGuffin is another one that comes to mind with a good friend of mine. They do some really good camps and clinics and some getaways. I would love it if we can get anybody that has done one, and if you are entertaining doing one, I'd love to kind of get some open communication back and forth on which ones you're looking at, because who knows, might be able to reach out to Smashing Plastic and get us maybe a little discount, or maybe even just line up a couple folks that are listening to the podcast that we can go together. What's cool about these couples getaways is you don't necessarily have to be a pickler. And what I mean by that is, if your wife or your husband, if you're listening, doesn't play pickleball, they can go with you. And it sounds like most of these couple getaways have something that your partner can do while you're playing pickleball. So whether that's a spa day, or they do an excursion to the beach, or they're going to go shopping at Cozumel, whatever it may be, it's kind of similar to if you've ever done a cruise or a vacation. They have a lot of different various things that your partner can do, your spouse can do if they are not into pickleball. Now, for me personally, I'm actually looking forward to doing a couple of these myself this upcoming calendar year. I'd like to do them with my son. I'd like to do a couple with some of these ball players that we've got that are really interested in pickleball. But I'd love to do one with my spouse. I'd love to take my wife, Melinda, who, believe it or not, is actually going to be doing a podcast with us soon, to talk a little bit about the wonderful world of couples and pickleball and what that looks like. I'd love to take her and maybe my business partner and his wife and go to Antigua, for 3 or 4 days and play pickleball with some of the best in the world, some of the prettiest water in the world, and actually just have a true time to kind of connect with my spouse and have a really good time on the pickleball while we're doing so. So I'm interested to hear from you on that. I'm definitely looking forward to speaking a lot more into that. I know that you guys will thoroughly enjoy those conversations that we talk about getaways and pickleball, and can't wait here at Smashing Plastic to keep you posted on what that's going to look like. Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here with Coach's Tip for you today from Smashing Plastic. My Coach's Tip today is not going to involve anything physical. It's actually going to involve mental, and it's this wonderful world of selection of partner. And what I mean by that is selection of partner can be as who you're playing with on a weekly basis, but I would like to focus more so on how do I select a partner for a tournament. One of the things that our podcast and that we're going to talk a lot about going into the fall is getting yourself involved in tournament play and competitive play. Well, a key component of that in the Beloved World of Pickleball is who are you playing with? So here's my personal opinion. I am not going to say this is by any stretch, the gospel, but here's what I believe. Number one, you need to have a partner that is absolutely going to be able to bring the best out in you. And I mean that with every fiber of my body. And here's what I mean. If you are playing with somebody who is going to rub you the wrong way, you do not want to play in a tournament with that individual. The reason being is because, as crazy as it sounds, and whether you're playing for the Peanut Butter Jelly Championship or if you're going all the way to the PPA and you're going to play for the 4.0 gold, you are going to have some points that are going to be what I will call high stress points. So it is vital for you to have somebody that is going to be able to bring the best out of you. For me personally, no surprise here, I'm a super high energy, very eccentric, very vocal player. There are some players, and I'll be the first to tell you, that do not like that. They do not play well with somebody that is vocal. Now, I'm never going to be one of those players as a coach that is chastising somebody across the net from me. But I am absolutely going to be vocal when I hit a winner, or if I hit a shot, or if I have a good hands battle. I'm going to be vocal about it. If you are a player and that bothers you, then you need to be able to communicate that so that you don't get set up into a bad situation. You pay money to get into a tournament and you have an awful experience because you're choosing the wrong guy or the gal. Secondly, you need to have somebody that is an encourager. Encouragement in pickleball, encouragement in sports is vital. It's hard what we're trying to do. We're trying to, get a ball into a position that we can actually hit a winner. It's hard because it's going to be hot. It's hard because it's going to be cold. There's so many different variables that come into you playing competitive pickleball. You need to have somebody that is going to be an encourager and keep you up, because it is a mental battle. Those 5 inches between your two ears are the biggest thing that you're going to battle when you go into the competitive world of sports, including pickleball. So make sure when you're selecting a partner, you get somebody that is going to be encouraging. Lastly, and we were going to talk about this, you need to select a player partner that is comparable in your skill set. If you are playing 2-on-2 pickleball and you select a partner because she is amazingly nice, but she does not have the skill set that's anywhere near you within 2 points, guess who every ball is going to in that tournament? Her or him. So when you're selecting a partner, I highly encourage you are going to have to find someone who is comparable. Now, that doesn't mean exactly like you, better than you, or worse than you. It means comparable. Somebody that can hold their own on their side of the court when the play is in motion. I see a lot of players that will select partners thinking that this person's going to carry them, or vice versa. I'm going to carry them, I'm just going to take over. It creates a lot of drama. It creates a bad experience. And I, as a coach, don't want you to have a bad experience when you play a tournament, because I want you to play every tournament that comes to our town. I want you to play every tournament that comes, the opportunity for you to play in, because I want you to thoroughly enjoy them. Win, lose, or draw, I want you to enjoy playing pickleball. So those are my tips of the day. Number one, make sure that you are absolutely getting somebody that is like-minded, that you're going to enjoy being around. Number two, make sure you get somebody that's going to be an encourager. And number three, make sure you have somebody that's comparable to your skill set, so that you are not feeling overwhelmed with every single ball going to that person and you don't stand a chance in that point. Hope this helps. See you soon. Coach Tommy out. I am so excited that you joined us here on this podcast. Please do me a favor. Hit the smash button, subscribe button. If we don't have a smash button, we need a smash button. We want to subscribe, right? You need a like. And there's so many different various reasons why, but more importantly, it helps the algorithm. It keeps it in front. So if anybody talks about pickle, we are aiming for Smashing Plastic to be right there with them. I have no doubt that we can make this a fantastic, amazing podcast with great guests, great content, but we need your help to do so. So please like and subscribe. Can't wait to show you what we've got coming on the fall. A lot of good speakers. If you'd like to join us on our podcast, now would be a great time to DM them. We're looking for vendors. We're looking for the pros. We're looking for people that have never touched the pickleball. We're looking for the juniors. We're looking for the 75-year-old who's got pickleball with purpose on their mind, that's changing lives because of a plastic ball. If that meets you or anything around there, hey, do me a favor, DM us. Let's get you on the podcast. Coach Tommy out.